friends, welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Amira. If you don't know, I am a neurodivergent spiritual practitioner, and I'm here with you today just to chat a little bit. In my last video, I kind of left off on a little bit of a cliffhanger because this thought came to me in the midst of that discussion. And the question was, why would we fight so hard for something that is not working? Why? Lots of reasons, right? And there's going to be lots of personal reasons. Oh, one second. I forgot my handy dandy helper. There's going to be lots of personal reasons, situation specific, person specific, as to why we might fight so hard for something. Now, I say something because that something can vary. It can be a job, it can be a goal, it can be a relationship, romantic or otherwise. It does not have to be romantic. It grinds my gears that we as a society view the word relationship automatically as a romantic encounter. Life is about relationships, period. Okay, the relationship that I have with you guys, that is inconsistent, and I apologize for that, is a relationship as well. All right, but anyway, there's going to be tons of things underneath that umbrella, and there's going to be tons of person specific and situation specific reasons for why we or that individual person may hang on to something maybe a little bit longer than necessary, or maybe it didn't need to be hung on to at all, child. I don't know, but I have 5 reasons here that I want to go over with you guys. And of course, if there's something that I don't touch on, or, you're looking for person specific or situation specific advice or counsel or guidance, you can always reach out to me directly or leave a comment down below. Let me know how maybe we can unfold this conversation further or other similar topics, okay? First reason that I have, though, is gonna be ego and pride. Okay, I put the two together because they are sort of synonymous. They go hand in hand in many situations and scenarios. Our ego, just like, as a bit of a background or defining, our ego is something that everybody has. It's not something that, some people have and other people don't. Your ego just simply means your personality. And for those of you who have been with me for a while, or, you follow my tarot doings and you're into tarot or, astrology, spirituality, this kind of thing, your ego is just simply put your sun sign. Okay, look at it that way. My sun sign is Pisces, and so my personality may show up that way, but you also have to remember I'm on the last day of Pisces. I'm on the cusp. That's an unnecessary tangent, but it's an important factor of how I represent, how I present, how I show up to the world, and how I navigate different things. Okay, our ego is built by way of learning, by way of experience, by way of also just our innate DNA and all that other good stuff. But when it comes to the desire or the energy, if you will, that's put toward fighting for something that is not working, our ego can work to either protect us or harm us, right? We may want to, and that's a natural thing that occurs, okay? It's a natural thing that occurs just instinctually. We want to protect ourselves. We want to protect our reputation. We don't want to feel embarrassed. We don't want to lose supporters, or, we want to have people who understand us, all these different things may be reasons why we hold on to something or continue to fight for something that's not working. Just as an example, a great example that's coming to mind right now, there is this narrative, if you will, when it comes to some women, how can I it's as though who am I? Okay, let's put it that way. It's a questioning of who am I? What is my personality? What is my purpose? All these different things that encompass the ego, if you will, outside of having a partner. Okay, sometimes there are, I mean, men as well. Okay, just people in general, because people need support. It's just a regular human thing. People need support, but it is a thing and it's a societal thing, especially when it comes to women in particular. But just an example, I'm not going to go on a tangent, okay? That's number one. So ego and pride is going to be one reason why we might fight so hard for something that is not working. Number two is going to be self-esteem and value. And listen, I did not do this purposely, but it is actually laid out that way. Again, for my astrology folks, the ego, the pride is representative in that first house. First house represents Aries. Aries represents the head. All right, Aries is like about being in charge and whatever. I'm not going to get into that, and then when we come to this number 2, self-esteem and value, that's representative of the second house. What a coinky dink. Okay, and the second house, of course, is representative of Taurus energy, but it has to do with our security, our sense of self-esteem, our sense of belonging, even our sense of value, meaning, this kind of thing. So when it comes to our self-esteem and our value, what's tied into that is sometimes some what's the word I'm looking for? Overcompensation. Okay, we may overcompensate in such a way that says, I am not worth this particular thing that I have, and so I have to continue to work at it to show or prove that I am worth this particular thing that I have. And we misvalue ourselves, or we misvalue the investment itself. Okay, a lot of times we've poured so much into this particular project or relationship or goal or idea or whatever the thing is that we're fighting so hard for that's not working. Could be a job as well, right? But we've poured so much time, energy, knowledge, experience, blood, sweat, and tears into it that we're like, no, I need to reap the rewards, and then we hold on to that thing that is not pouring back into us, and we wind up in this wheel of I'm fighting for something that's not working. And not only is it not working, it's also working to diminish my belief and value system, which is another topic for another day. Number 3, again, these are somehow going in order. I really didn't realize this until I got behind the camera, and now I'm talking about it. Number 3, I have societal or familial expectations, and I do relate that again to the third house. Third house represents Gemini. It's about communication. It's also about socialization. The third house speaks to our conscious mind as well, and when we speak about societal and familial expectations and the third house, they're synonymous because it has to do with how we were brought up. Okay, when we're children and our brains are sort of empty, and it gets filled with different things, whether purposely or consciously or unconsciously, really, it feeds into how we show up in the world. It feeds into our worldview and how we operate and interact with other people. And those expectations may be spoken, they may also be unspoken, but it's like, this is what I have to do to blank. Okay, so so I put down should as well, just similarly to how I just said have to do. Should and have to, these are things that need to be further examined, or they would benefit from a further examination. You could do what you want, it's your business, but they are indicative of a need to further examine, where is this belief stemming from? What really are my core values in comparison to societal's values, or the expectations and values that I was, the system that I was brought up into, or that I live in every day, even to identify and kind of separate those things to live authentically, right? But those societal and familial expectations, again, going back to the example of a woman, right? And especially a woman of a certain age, people have expectations that she will be partnered. People have expectations that she will be a mother. People have expectations that she will consistently express femininity with no, let's not get into that. But yeah, these are just different examples when it comes to the family system as well. You know, there are some families that say, you know, this is how you're supposed to do things, and when we're children, we are. The goal is to be taught how to life, right? How to do. But to some degree, there needs to be this sense of self-exploration and reflection as to what sits well with you and your own personal core values. Why and how do you relate to that thing that makes you carry out the way that you do? All right, that's number 3. Number 4 is going to be denial. Dun, dun, dun. I had to add denial on here. It doesn't go along with the 4th house, but you know, we had a good theme going for a little bit there. So denial, and I specified, okay, denial of facts, denial of feelings, denial of the intuition, okay. And after I wrote that, it made me think of wise mind. For those of you who are familiar with DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, is a specific technique that keys in on emotional regulation and distress tolerance. All right, there's 4 different things, but DBT wise mind speaks to the ability to discern, okay, but to identify also. Your facts are important, your feelings are important. We put those things together and we discern intuitively what is going to be the best decision for me. But when we're denying facts, such as, what's an example? I have a friend who has been inconsistent for, you know, time after time. It is upsetting to me, or it makes me feel rejected, but I continue in that friendship. Okay, all these things, we've identified the facts, we've also identified the feeling. Now it's time to bring those 2 things together and determine what is going to be the best decision for everyone involved. Oh, you can see him. There's the baby. What's going to be the best decision for me moving forward? When we deny those things, we continue to fight for something that is not working. If I am at a job where I'm not satisfied, or I'm being disrespected, or I just simply don't enjoy the work, but I continue to go there every day because this is what I'm supposed to do, because society says I got to go to this job and I got to do the work for 8 hours in the office, and then I get to go home and have the rest of my life as a free. Come on. Okay, if that's not something that's sitting well with you and we deny those facts, I mean, obviously we have to, you know, generate some sort of resources to live and thrive and be an active member of society, but not in the midst of denying what those true things are, because it won't bring true satisfaction and contentment within us. All right, number 5. Number 5 is going to be ignorance, okay? And ignorance, similar to denial, sure, but I wanted to add that in there because it simply speaks to not knowing, okay? There are plenty of us who, you know, we may not necessarily be in denial of a thing, because that's indicative of knowing and kind of suppressing or choosing not to look at something because it's too hard to make the choice, or it's too hard to look at, it's too challenging to face, or we feel like the emotions may overtake us. Ignorance is, I genuinely don't know. I was not taught, or I failed to, there's accountability in ignorance, okay? It could also mean that I failed to research, I failed to ask questions, I failed to openly communicate what I was experiencing so other people who are around me, more knowledgeable or have different experiences, can give me advice or guidance or different options that may be available to me. All right, but this also speaks to our early learning experiences, because again, those systems that we were brought up in, it was just that, okay? A system. Let's not get into that. But ignorance is going to be number 5, okay, as a reason why we might fight so hard for something that is not working, because I'm just ignorant, okay? Maybe I don't know that I'm overcompensating. I definitely, story time, okay, just a little bit of personal connection here. I've had those moments of being ignorant of my overcompensation, and it's taken time. Well, first of all, it took a professional to show me that mirror, you know, because and it goes. I don't want to jump ahead, but it took a professional to show me that mirror, and to dig deeper into understanding the possibilities. You know, if we have a true belief system, and this will go into my last point and then I'm going to close out. If we have a true belief system that I am not good enough to have this thing that I have, and so I must continuously, consistently suppress my thoughts, feelings, ideas, and desires to maintain that thing, then that's a true operation of life. All right. Last thing I want to say here is that the trail goes from experiences to beliefs to behaviors. I feel like I need to go the other way for some reason. Experiences to beliefs to behaviors. Okay, our experiences, they shape our worldview. That's early learning experiences, and the experience right now that you're having with me. This is going to somehow, some way shape your beliefs. Maybe it'll just shape your beliefs about YouTube. Maybe it'll shape your beliefs about me. Maybe it'll shape your beliefs about the discussion that we're having. But our experiences shape our beliefs. Now, our beliefs are super significant to how we behave and show up in the world. Because again, giving that example, if I believe that I can't open this door right here because I'm not strong enough, then I won't try to open the door. Why would I do that? Okay, or maybe I will overcompensate and get a jackhammer and drill a hole in the floor and go underneath, you know what I mean? But that overcompensation is taxing. That overcompensation doesn't really get me to the end result of feeling peace, contentment, serenity, all that good stuff. I say all that to say, we fight hard for things that aren't working because we're human. Yeah, I don't really have much more than that, you know. I want to pull some cards and then I'm going to close out. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. Like I said in the beginning of this, I'm Amira. I am a neurodivergent spiritual practitioner, national certified counselor. I love teaching. I love helping to heal. All right, if you're interested in any of those, connect, reach out. Okay, empathy is coming out. It says, I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. Okay, so there's a need for some empathy here. And it's interesting that card came out. I don't know if there's a card in here that talks about compassion. Who really cares? Because it's here intuitively. As I was saying that, I wanted to emphasize the need for compassion, not just compassion for other people, because I feel like that is really a big part of what's kind of missing in this world. But again, I won't get into that right now. Especially when it comes to this fifth reason of ignorance. There are many people who just simply are, I mean, we're all learning every day, every experience. It doesn't matter how old you are, really, truly. And there are expectations, spoken and unspoken, in society, in families, in workplaces, and relationships, that don't necessarily align with people's beliefs, don't necessarily align with people's experiences, don't necessarily align with what people are capable of, okay? And yeah, I'm also a big proponent of, you know, not necessarily using ableist language, but that's probably just because I got off the ADA webinar. Okay, but empathy, and there's a need to not just show other people compassion, but show yourself compassion as you're exploring yourself, as you're exploring your experiences, as you're exploring your behaviors. You know, there's a reason why. Just take that thing back. Okay, I know what the behavior is. Now let's determine what is the belief from that. Why am I doing this thing? You know. All right, so empathy. You also have peace here at the bottom of the deck. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. Yeah, just release it. Let's pull one of these personal power oracles just for some empowerment, and then I'm gonna leave y'all be. Okay. I'm hearing something about ample opportunity. Yeah, okay. Curious is at the bottom of the deck. All right, so if you're curious about something, I feel like you have ample opportunity, or is that the right word? It feels wrong. Okay, maybe you feel like that. Maybe you feel like something that you want to do or something you're curious about feels wrong. All right, but the question is why, right? What about that thing feels wrong? Is it based on your own beliefs? Is it based on your core values? Where do those core values stem from? Is it based on other systems that you are attached to? Is it based on early learning experiences? There's something that maybe you're curious about. Okay, maybe you want to know more about, maybe you want to explore, maybe you want to understand. All right, maybe this is just a simple curiosity about yourself, and that is the best curiosity to have. Okay, because the worst person we can lie to is ourselves. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you next time.